Hello and welcome to this crochet tutorial on how to make the holly and silver shawl. As you can see here, we have it resting over her shoulders and we made it to the height of the waistline. If we turn our model around, you can see the open pattern of our design. For an added touch, fringe was added. Come and join me and let's make this holly and silver shawl together. Come on, let's go. Hello and welcome to this stitch tutorial on how to make a shawl. The yarn that we will be using is from A.C. Moore from Stitch Studio by Nicole, and the color is holly and silver. To me, it's not just a Christmas color, but it's an all year round color with a little touch of silver in it. It is a size 4 medium, and the yardage on it is, here it is, 541 yards, and I will be using 2 of them. The hook that I am using is a G hook, a 4.0 millimeter hook. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's part of their luxury collection. I like it because of the ergonomic and also the flowers that are on it. It looks nice as I crochet with it. So let's get our yarn and our hook ready and let's begin. Before I start any project, I like to pull from the center of the skein an amount of yarn that I will be using so that I can maintain a proper tension. I encourage you to pull quite a bit out so that it does not tangle, and as we crochet you'll find how simple it is to work with the yarn that is already out. I'm going to be bringing my camera closer so that you can watch the stitching as well. So let's begin. Let's place a slip knot on our hook. Chain 4, slip stitch into the first chain, and then chain 3. This chain 3 does count as your first double crochet. Now into our circle, our little chain, 2 double crochets, chain 3, slide your work over your tail as well, 3 double crochets, chain 3. We're going to do 3 double crochets and chain 3 2 more times. So here's our first one. Chain 3 and our second one. So we should have a total of 4 sets of 3 double crochet. Do not close here. Okay? Chain 3 and turn your work. And let's get ready to start row 2. Beginning row 2, we're going to place 3 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets in our chain 3 space here. This is our edging. We'll always have the 2 3 double crochets with a chain 3 in the end. So that will be over our chain 3. So this chain 3, you'll see the same finishing here. Now we're going to start our cluster. Chain 1, and in the second chain 3, our clusters will always be the same throughout. So let's double crochet, this particular cluster will have 6 double crochets with picots of chain 3. So after our double crochet, chain 3, instead of doing a tight picot, do a single crochet to close it. Let's do our second one, double crochet, chain 3. Now we're going to single crochet over the top of the double crochet. That's 2. Slide it over. We have 4 more to make. Double crochet, chain 3, single crochet over the top of the double crochet, 3 more to do. Let's double check our count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After you completed the last single crochet, we'd like for you to chain 1, and in our next chain 3 space, which is the edging of our shawl, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. And this is what row 2 should look like when finished. We did our 2 3 double crochets with our chain 3, chain 1, here's our cluster, double crochet, chain 3, single crochet over the top of the double crochet. We did that 6 times, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Let's move on to row 3. So for row 3, we want to start with chaining 3 and turn your work. And remember, when we have our 2 3 double crochets with a chain 3. We're going to start our row with the same thing. You'll see that as we add on to this, what a beautiful edging it gives it. This will be the second row of the repeat, and you're also going to find how this row with the cluster and this row that we're doing now is really a nice, repetitious, and easygoing pattern. You'll notice that at the end I chained 1, just like I did with the cluster row. You want to chain 1. So after we chain 1, we're going to stretch that stitch just a little bit. I'm going to bring it in a little closer so you can see what we're going to do. This can be done by the beginner, so we'll go over this many times so you do not feel intimidated by it. So we're going to place our thumb down here on the top of the yarn. This is our working yarn. So place your thumb right here. Bring your yarn through the loop and bring up just a small loop. Then take your hook and go through that loop or the working yarn. Can you see how it went through? We have our 2 here and our working yarn here, and pull up a loop. Okay, if you're confused, we'll do it again, and then you're going to finish it as if it was a single crochet. Okay, and then we're going to take this loop and stretch it out again. Place our thumb right here on top. Bring your yarn in through. Drop a loop. So this yarn, we're going to take our hook and go in between it. And then draw up a loop. And we've got 2 loops on the hook. Pull it through, and you've done like you did a single crochet. Okay? So you'll have like these little large loopy things. And then after we do that, we're going to chain 1. Okay? I'm going to continue on with the video. If it confuses you, replay it, and you'll see how it's not really that difficult. It looks difficult, but it's not. Okay? So don't be intimidated by it. Now on our cluster, we have 6 loops. Count over to the 3rd loop and place your hook right into the center of that chain and draw up a loop and complete a single crochet. Chain 3, and in the next loop go through the chain, the center of the chain, pull up a loop and complete another single crochet, and then chain 1. And yes, we're going to be doing these stretched out chains here. So let's give it a shot, because I know you can do it. So after our chain 1, stretch your loop out. Now if you really want to measure it, you can measure it by the width of your thumb. Okay, and then place your thumb over on top of all of this. Draw up a loop. Okay, and you see how that one's separated from the other 2? Does this help a little bit better? Then put your hook in the center of the 2 and the 1, and then draw up that loop. That kind of locks all this stitching in right here. And then finish it as if it was a single crochet. Let's try another one. Stretch that out, measure it with your thumb if you need to, and then pinch it with your thumb, your left thumb, if you're right-handed. Draw up a loop. Hold this loop here, put your hook through there, and draw up a loop, and then complete it like if it was a single crochet, and then chain one. Now if you wish, which I kind of hope you just want to do regular chain, this long chain, if you wish you can do the equivalent of probably about 6 chains to make it easier, but it will kind of take away from the elegance of the pattern. But I hope for you to try it. So after we did our chain 1, we're going to skip this chain 1, and in our chain 3 we do our cluster. I mean our 2 or 3 DC, chain 3, 3 DC. And then chain 3, and what we're going to do is a repeat of this row of the cluster. So this is the first, and this will be the second row of our cluster, and you'll notice that as it gets bigger, you'll start to see the pattern emerge. So let's get ready and we'll start row 4. So let's begin row 4. I hope you're not angry with me from the last row, but we're going to turn our work so you'll see the back side of our double crochets from the previous row. We did our chain 3, so let's do 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, and then after our third double crochet I'd like for you to chain 1, and then chain 1 there. Okay? You're not going to like me for this one. But this is where we increase at. Okay? So right there in the center of that long chain, you see that single crochet we did right there? We're going to be placing our cluster. Remember our cluster? 6 double crochets with the chain 3 picot with the single crochet. Yes, they're all going to fit right there. You ready? I know you can do this. So when you look at it, let me see if I'm going to take my hook out, and I'll use my hook as a pointer right here. When you take your single crochet here and turn it up, you'll see this V right here. We're going to take our hook and we're going to go under both of those. You don't want to pick up just one, you want to pick up both of them like this. Okay? You ready to give it a try? I know you are, because this will be so pretty. This will be beautiful in white. It'll make a beautiful bridal shawl as well. Okay, so yes, it does fit from here to there. Let's begin. Let's start off with our double crochet, and remember to go underneath those 2 loops right there, and let's complete our double crochet. Chain 3, single crochet under the top of the double crochet, and there you got your first one. Let's do 5 more. I know you can hardly wait, huh? Chain 3. You know, I have long hair, and I think my long hair got into this. Oh boy. Okay, well, I got it out. So there's 2. Double crochet, chain 3, single crochet. So we got 3, no, 1, 2, 3, we got 4 on here. So 2 more. 1, 2, 3, single crochet. And now for our 6th one. Looks like the hole got stretched out, but it'll be fine. It's not going to mess the pattern up. So after your last single crochet, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then remember the chain 3 right here. We're going to single crochet into that. Oh, wait. I made a mistake. Let's go back. Take out 2 of those chains. I was thinking ahead of myself. So chain 1, and then single crochet into the chain 3 space. Chain 1. Now on this side, we have our chain right here in the center. Our single crochet in the center. We're going to go ahead and do the cluster, the 6 double crochets, chain 3, and the single crochet at the top. So let's go ahead and do that. I know you're thinking, oh, this is so much work. Once you get the hang of the pattern and get in tune with the pattern, you'll find it'll go quickly. And you know how I know? I'm going to have to show you here right now. I made a sample of it, see? And it is so pretty. I love this. So, enough of that. So, we're going to chain 3. Whoops, I got out of camera range. I'm sorry about that. Single crochet. So I got 2 of them here. Let's go ahead and make some more. Whoops. Don't want to snag my yarn. Oh, I'd like to tell you that I do have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. It's under Garnet Isajewel. I would love to see some of your results if you choose to make what I offer in YouTube videos. And then see if you have any suggestions of anything else that you might like to make. Okay, so I did my 6th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's always good to count at the end. Okay, now so that you don't feel like you've been confused, follow your line over and you'll see your 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. And then you'll probably see the back side of the chain 3 from the other row. Don't worry about that. Okay? We're worried about right here, and we're going to put our 3 double crochet chain 3, 3 double crochet, and that'll complete this row. So you've seen the full repeat, and you've also seen how we've just increased on our row as well. Our increases are obviously on those long chains, and I think this pattern, you will totally enjoy it. The nice thing is too is the repeat of the chain 3s and the chain 1s. Simple to follow. Okay, so here's what we have at the end of row 5, I believe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, at the end of row 4. So we have our one cluster here. You'll always notice that our clusters are all facing the same direction as the double crochets here on the ends will have the back side and then the right side, and that's okay. So this row had 1, this row had 2. Our next row will be the long crochets, and then when we do the clusters again, there'll be 3 across. So let's get ready for row 5 and do the long stitching again. So for round 5, I have already turned my work over. So in the first chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, and then chain 1. Okay, so here's what we have so far. This begins row 5. Now we're going to do those long chains again. I hope you don't dread these. They're really not difficult, and they do add to the beauty of this particular pattern. So after our chain 1, let's go ahead and try this again. Stretch it about thumb's width. Place your thumb on top of that stitching, pull up a loop, and then take your hook and go into the center of that stitching and pull up a loop again. Okay, so we have 2 loops on the hook, and then yarn through both of them. Okay? Let's do it one more time. So we're making our loops approximately the width of your thumb. Okay? And pinch that with your finger and thumb. And drop the loop. And then go right here through the center. And pull up another loop, so you'll have 2 loops on your hook now. Yarn over and through both of those loops. Now you've completed the second one, so we want to chain 1. Okay? Now following our pattern across, we got 1, 2, 3. We want to take our hook and make a single crochet, chain 3, and in our next picot right here, single crochet and chain 1. Okay, now I left my tail down here so you can see that this is your center bottom. If that helps you out a lot, I hope it does. Okay, so here's our sides coming up. Let's go on to our next long crochets or long chains right here. Okay, so stretch it, pinch it, pull up a loop, hook through the center, pull up your second loop, yarn over and through both loops. Pinch it, thumb, draw up your second loop through both loops, chain 1. That kind of helps lock that last stitch there. Okay, so skip 1, 2 picots, skip 1, 2 on the next cluster, and up here at the third one, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 1. So you'll know that just by looking from what we've done before. This right here will get a cluster. This right here will get a cluster on our next row. So we have one more to do. Let's stretch our loop, pinch it, yarn through, bring up a loop through the center, bring up a second loop, yarn over through both loops. Okay, stretch your loop, pinch it, drop a loop through the center, pull up your second loop, yarn over through both loops, single chain, just one chain right there. Okay, so we're going to skip these 2 picots and into that chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet. Chain 3, and that'll take you onto row 6. So let's see what we got here. Okay, here's our center bottom. Here's our first cluster. Here's our second row of clusters. So here's like our little arch. So we're going to put a cluster here on the next row, single crochet, cluster, single crochet, cluster, and then the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I want you to do this row by yourself, and I'll meet you here because I think you already understand this. And since we talked about where the clusters go, try this row and then we'll move on. So this is what I have after finishing this row. I started off with the 3, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 1, the cluster of 6, which is double crochet, chain 3, single crochet at the top. After we did that, chain 1, single crochet on the chain 3 of the previous row, chain 1, we did our double crochet clusters with the picot, chain 1, single crochet on that chain 3, chain 1, our cluster, chain 1, 3, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to chain 3. The next row will be those long chains, and you already know where they go. I hope you give this a try. I hope you like it. I don't find it too difficult, but if you have a problem with this chain stitch here, I can make a separate video on how to do that as well. I hope the explanation that I gave during the video was enough. I thank you so much for joining me. I know it's been a while since I've been on YouTube making a video. I had some personal things I needed to take care of in my life, but I'm doing fine now. So I hope that you give this pattern a try. I know I'm going to enjoy mine when I get it finished. So thank you so much for watching me. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like my channel, after you've reviewed quite a few videos, subscribe to it. I don't get paid for all this, but I enjoy doing this. So, please come back again next time. I do cooking videos. My husband is Arabic, so I create some Arabic videos of what we like to cook in our home, as well as crocheted videos and whatever else I can come up with. But thank you again for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.